All right, Poke Wizards, we are going to watch live as the most valuable Pokemon card ever sold sells tonight on Goldin Auction. Of course, what we're talking about here is Logan Paul's Pikachu Illustrator PSA 10. It's Gem Mint. This is one of one. It's the only one that exists in PSA 10 Gem Mint condition. This is the one that Logan Paul wore to WrestleMania 38 for some reason. And as an extra perk in this auction, he is going to hand deliver this to the winning bidder. So as you can see, this card is currently selling for 11.6 million, which is up from 5.1 million. We're going to scroll down here and you'll see that this card was hung at 5.1 million for about a month, which is not that surprising because Logan Paul himself had paid 5.275 for this card. And so people were easily going to say, well, it's worth at least what he paid for. But we're going to see live right now tonight how much they're actually going to pay for it. And this will be record setting. I think not only will this be the most valuable Pokemon card ever sold, but it'll be the most valuable trading card ever sold. It has a chance to beat the $12.6 million 1952 Topps Mickey Mantle. And it has a chance to beat the $12.9 million Jordan Kobe one-of-one Logomans. So let's see what happens here tonight. And like me, you may be wondering, how does a Pokemon card get to be worth $11 million? Well, this is an ultra rare trophy card. And what that means is this is not a card you could ever have bought and pulled out of a pack. This was given as a prize for entering an illustration contest. And so the Pikachu illustration contest, they were asked to draw, submit Pokemon artwork. There were 3 different contests. I think one was the Pokemon card game illustration. One was the Mewtwo counterattack commemoration artist contest, and also Pikachu's summer vacation commemoration contest. And across these, 39 of these cards were officially awarded. Now, some people report the number as high as 41 because there may have been additional copies awarded or sold separately, but that's about the total circulation. And among all of those, this is the only PSA 10 that has been graded in perfect gem mint condition. So that's why this card is so scarce and getting so much publicity. Now, this card is selling on Goldin Auction, which I'm pretty familiar with from the high-end baseball card world. And Ken Goldin himself thought this could fetch as high as $20 million, which I didn't believe. I actually didn't think this card was going to go over 10 million, but here we are, currently standing at 11.6 million. Now I'm going to fast forward some of the slow time here and give you the live play-by-play of the bidding to see what it finally sold for. Now, if you're not familiar with high-end auctions, a bid of $11.6 million is not the price they're actually going to pay. They're going to pay close to $14.4 million because there is a 20% fee that the auction house takes. Now, the auction house doesn't take all that money necessarily. For high-end items, they can give a percentage of that back to the seller to sweeten the pot and entice them to bring their most valuable cards to the platform. But an 11.6 million bid is a $14.4 million cost to obtain this card. Now, we're watching this and it's going to sell for 11.6, it looks like. I'm used to websites that update automatically, but this one, like I had to go ahead and refresh it. And now we're at a bid of $12.188 million. So already we're above and beyond the bid. I don't see it here, so I guess I should probably figure out how to refresh this, but there's been a flurry of bids that came in, and we'll get this here for you so you can get the most up to date. So I thought it was going to time out at 30 seconds and be a final sale, but here are some bids that actually did come in. So we're going to go ahead and refresh the screen and get this sorted out. So now we're at 12.188 million, which with the fee, you're a little over $15.1 million, which is a lot. And unlike other auction sites, every time a new bid comes in, this one actually resets for 30 minutes. So there isn't one final countdown. Every bid, as long as it comes in before the 30 minutes, extends it for another 30 minutes. So for these high-end auctions, they're just going to keep going and keep going until someone finally gives up and there's no more money to squeeze out of the bidders. So let's see how high this one will go. We're already, I think, ahead of probably the highest Pokemon card ever, obviously, but I wonder if that bid or the buyer's premium is where we have to count for the highest trading card of all time, but I have a feeling we're going to have this card be the highest trading card all time. All right, as this bidding window is counting down, we've got 12.188. Let's see if this is going to carry or if there's going to be any more additional bids here at this end of the extended biddings. Let me refresh because we've learned that lesson, I think, here. Did it sell for 12.188? Let me see here. All right, we'll click refresh. Let's go. 13 million. A flurry of bids came in at the last second. There was 6 additional bids. It increased the value by $900,000, about $800,000 for this card. That is unbelievable. This card is rocking. I don't know that's going to make to 20,000, but I am surprised it went from 11 to now all the way up to 13. So let's take a look here. We've got those 6 bids coming in. So it went from 12.188 all the way up to $13 million. And that was just in the span of 3 minutes of bidding. We're at $13 million and still going. Hang on, Pokemon fans. This is going to be a world record for sure. So as this one's kind down, sometimes I like to refresh this because this website is not very auto-updated, which I'm used to. Fanatics Collect actually does a better job of instantaneously updating for all of its bids. So let me get this one here. 13.1, and that resets the clock. There's another 30-minute clock here as we are at $13.1 million for the bid. This is continuing to be a battle. Probably someone's saying, how far can I go until I actually give up? And this is $16.2 million with the buyer's premium. Unbelievable. Let's keep going and see what this ends up with. Don't worry, I'm refreshing the page and checking just like you in case you're curious. I want to see when that bid comes in. It's not going to automatically tell us, but it looks like we're still stuck at $13.1 million, which is, you could buy a mansion for that. You could buy 2 mansions. I would not spend that money on a Pokemon card or a baseball card, but this is history in the making. All right, we're zooming ahead here. There's about 3 minutes left here in this extended bidding session, and we'll give this one a check in here to see if there's any change in prices. 13.1, and let's take a peek here. 13.2, we have a new high bid that resets the clock. There's another 30 minutes, but don't worry, I'm going to fast forward this for you so you don't waste your time waiting. $13.2 million for a Pokemon. All right, we're coming up at 1 a.m. I've been watching this on my computer screen for way too long just to see history making. There we go. $13.3 million. We're going to go ahead and reset the clock again, another 30 minutes. And just for those of you who are curious at home, $13.3 million is 16.5. Let's round it up. $16.5 million for this Pokemon card. There's been 97 bids for this card. I just want to know who has the money. Who are all the people bidding against each other? This is wild, and I'm sure Logan Paul is going to be excited to make $8 million off of this card. He held on to it for a little bit, got some publicity. He's going to make $8 million profit on this Pokemon card. All right, we're in the 10-second countdown for this extended bidding. We'll see if the auction is going to continue or if it's completely slowed down and this card is actually finally going to sell. 3, 2, 1. Let's do this. So it says this. I got to refresh it. It says bidding's closed. I think it might have sold for a bid of $13.3 million. Let's wait for the final tally coming in. This shouldn't take too long to update and give us the final result here. So 13.3 would be 16.492. That's it. That's the final. $16.5 million is what somebody paid for Logan Paul's Pokemon card. He bought it for $5.275 million. It's increased in value about $11 million, and he's going to pay maybe $3 million in those fees, take home a little over $8 million, and just holding the card. Unbelievable. This is setting the all-time record. Make sure you like and subscribe for more of these videos. We are going to follow the Pokemon history anywhere it comes up. We'll see you in the next one.